Coming up on NAIT NewsWatch.
An Oscar-winning director makes his mark on the tailing ponds in Alberta.
His opinion carries more weight than mine as an Albertan. I would disagree with.
With the upcoming municipal elections, students voice their opinions on government decisions.
In general, just to maybe reduce taxes so people have more money in their pockets.
Research is furthered on a syndrome that keeps kids hungry.
It is difficult to deny your child food.
Good evening. Hollywood came north this week and there was nothing glamorous about the visit.
Canadian-born director James Cameron opened up about his concerns for the well-being of the Aboriginal community, the environment, and the oil industry. Our Brianna McCutcheon joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
Thanks, Kathy. The Avatar director touched down Monday to get a first-hand look at the area he has compared to the Amazon forest depletion in Brazil. His appearance here has raised questions about whether or not he will be able to make a difference.
Prior to meeting the media this week, James Cameron started his controversial visit with a tour of the oil sands in Fort McMurray, a site which many environmentalists are not proud of.
The people in Fort Chipewyan are afraid to drink their own water. They're afraid to eat the fish. They're afraid of the river. They're afraid to let their kids swim in the river.
Although the oil sands lack a biodiverse ecosystem, the Alberta government sees a hopeful future.
The Premier is very strongly in favor of proper environmental monitoring, proper investment in new technology and research to make sure that we are as clean as possible and that we move toward cleaner energy every year.
Now, well, we're not really asking for the oil sands to shut down. What we're asking for currently is just no new projects. We think there's enough projects out there, and that's already indicating there's damage to the forests and wildlife and perhaps to people.
Cameron achieved his goal of a face-to-face talk with the Premier, a meeting that some feel was a publicity stunt, but one that was necessary.
Whether his opinion carries more weight than mine as an Albertan, I would disagree with, but it certainly helped to draw attention to the issues.
And that's what Cameron wants the oil industry and the government to consider.
I think that what is critical here is for everyone to really take a look at what the fallout from all this is and what it could be, because we're only at the beginning of it. Only 2 or 3% of the tar sands deposits are currently being mined. So imagine what that could look like going forward.
James Cameron did say his heart will be here in Alberta to find a more environmentally friendly way to deal with the oil sands in the future.
Well, what about the Cree Nations that were at the press conference with James Cameron? Were their views of the oil sands of deep concern to their people?
Yes, Kathy. Overall, they're concerned about the health of their people, and they just want to live a healthy life.
Well, what about the health of the environment? Is that all a concern for the government?
Yes, it is. The Premier wants to keep the oil sands around because he realizes it's great for our economy. He just wants to do it in the most environmentally friendly way.
Thanks, Brianna, for that piece. That's Brianna McCutcheon reporting live from our news center tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch, your next generation of news.
Post-secondary students can look forward to change following the upcoming municipal election.
Candidates are addressing students' issues in their campaign. Julie Finkelman has more.
Thanks, guys. Edmonton City Hall may soon be home to a brand new set of leaders following the mayoral elections on October 18th.
A handful of post-secondary students gathered at the University of Alberta Wednesday night to see what the mayoral candidates had to offer. The 7 candidates all have a wide range of issues that they hope to address for both young and old. NAIT Student Association says that getting students to vote is crucial.
So it's really important that our students actually get out and vote in the election, because we can only go so far with lobbying those council members, but it's the students who should be voting and getting a voice.
The candidates are working to solve everyday issues.
We've been very clear about the airport. We should close it. I mean, fundamentally, it's an underutilized piece of property in the city of Edmonton.
As well as improve the lives of students.
Because the numbers say that students don't vote. Well, I say that perhaps no one's ever given a reason to students to actually go out and vote.
With rising tuition and decreased transportation, students admit that they don't know much about the election. but they still have opinions.
I have to say, like, tuition, like, subsidizing part of it by the government, just construction, the bus routes, because I take the bus every day with the U-Pass.
Mayoral hopeful Daryl Bonar has decided to take a direct route to helping students by introducing a tuition rebate.
But over and above, what I'm going to do is I want to put forward a $5,000 tuition rebate program to incentivize our grads to work, stay, live, and play here in Edmonton.
For more information on the upcoming elections, go to www.edmonton.ca. Julie Finkelman, NAIT NewsWatch.
Thanks, Julie. That's Julie Finkelman reporting from City Hall.
North Edmonton is looking brighter than it has in years. The change is a result of a graffiti prevention project. An area no stranger to vandalism, LRT and trail users can now enjoy the beautiful mural paintings on the side of buildings along the Northeast LRT corridor.
There's real improvement and it makes a difference. I now ride the LRT every morning and it looks lovely.
With the success of the project, Councillor Jane Batty says the efforts to improve the living conditions of the city will continue.
So now we have the opportunity to assess other areas within the city of Edmonton and move forward. And you may have to tailor the project a little bit to match the area of the city.
To be part of the solution, citizens can call 911 to report graffiti or 311 for cleanup.
There is new hope this week for children with the genetic condition that causes them to overeat. It's called Prader-Willi syndrome, or PWS.
In the household, their refrigerator would be locked, their cupboards would be locked because they're seeking out food all the time. They just have this constant sense of hunger.
The U of A just launched a new study based around the hormone ghrelin. 7-year-olds Brody and Greta know all too well about this hormone that stimulates hunger, as it's 4 to 5 times more predominant in kids with PWS.
It's definitely also had its challenges in terms of behavioral issues. Speech for her has been particularly delayed and some other learning delays as well.
Always.
Children born with PWS are generally very floppy at birth and initially have a hard time gaining weight.
It is difficult to deny your child food. I mean, obviously that's not a natural or normal thing to do.
The study hopes to create a therapeutic diet plan to help those suffering live a more independent life.
Business students and entrepreneurs can now take advantage of new technology trends they learned from a futurist this week. With today's evolving technology, business minds are open to information that will help them stay ahead of the game. Some things audience learned are consumers will buy more into small devices such as smartphones and tablets over personal computers. And Edmonton's businesses will shift to more technological companies.
The day of big hardware companies and semiconductor plants, that's a lot of capital. So we're probably going to see smaller, more nimble digital media companies.
Nova NAIT's Randy Thompson will take all the information learned to support their developing companies.
What I take out of today is here's some things to develop in your products that people will actually buy, and that's something we need to teach all the companies.
With an increase in NAIT students wanting to start up businesses, Nova NAIT is prepared to provide up-to-date business guidance.
City Hall got a taste of Edmonton's Muslim culture this week as they prepare for their annual trip to Hajj. Events, rituals, and prayer is what Hajj is all about. It's a spiritual gathering in Mecca to send praise to the Muslim god Allah.
People have to do at least a visit once in a lifetime, not just Muslims, but those who believe in these revelations.
Some other rituals include walking around the Kaaba 7 times, touching the black stone on the Kaaba, drinking from the well of Zamzam, and throwing rocks on Satan's stone.
They do the rituals of the first visit, and then they stay a few days, do other rituals. So this is the significance of this place.
Hajj is the largest pilgrimage in the world, hosting 2.5 to 3 million people every year. Pilgrims who complete the Hajj consider it to be one of the greatest spiritual experiences of their lives.
After a month's wait, NAIT students can look forward to a new acting president.
Former NAIT President Dr. Sam Shaw retired last July. This week, Chief Advisor Financial Officer David Jansen was appointed to guide NAIT until a permanent president is found. Shaw was the president of NAIT for 13 years.
Coming up after the break, Edmonton's neighborhoods get a facelift.
Edmonton is working hard to implement bicycle paths and walkways for a safer city.
Get
it to where it's easier for people to walk.
Coming up in Student Body, the facts about energy drinks are revealed.
What they don't realize is that the counter effect is later on in the day they're going to have a down.
Coming up on NAIT NewsWatch, I try to field in competitive swimming.
Our city's core is planning a facelift in the next year to keep pedestrians in and vandalism out.
Walkable founder Dan Burton hopes to make a stroll down our streets a walk in the park.
We want to create a street just for pedestrians.
Burton is visiting Edmonton to slow down traffic and give the sidewalks back to the McDougall, Queen Mary Park and McCully neighborhoods.
All of the neighborhoods near the downtown are the ones that need to be worked on the most.
Burton's company Walkable is designed to put cities on what he calls a road diet by replacing lanes and asphalt with bike trails and grassy medians. He hopes to make Edmonton's core a leaner, safer, and more efficient neighborhood.
It's just a matter of working together so that the safety improves and that people reclaim their neighborhood by walking more, taking more active role in their neighborhood.
Burton's next project is to connect Chinatown and Little Italy and call it Marco Polo Way.
Well, I sure hope they do that soon because we've been having this unreal summer weather.
Hopefully it'll last for a little bit longer. Alexandra, what kind of forecast are we looking at?
Thanks, guys. Right now we're looking at 19 degrees and sunny in the capital city. It's a beautiful day out today. Maybe a perfect time to go and check out the fall colors and the fall trees throughout the city. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast throughout the province. Calgary is sitting at a high of 17, a low of 8, and we're looking at some nice and rainy periods throughout the day. Jasper sitting at a high of 12, a low of 4, with variable cloudiness. Fort McMurray is high of 15, a low of 8, and mainly sunny. Edmonton, high of 15, low of 8, variable cloudiness. Edmonton average temperature of 13 degrees. The record low was -8, and the record high was 28 degrees.
Weather sponsored by NR92.com, the station for the students.
Well, that sounds like a great week ahead.
Thanks, Alexandra. That's Alexandra Bruni with our weather tonight. Energy drinks like those sold around campus have really caught on with the students.
However, those buying the products may be unaware of health issues they may face. Rachel Lees has more.
Since their debut in 1997, the popularity of energy drinks with college students has increased. Being sold right next to the soft drinks has made them easily obtainable to anyone, as many are willing to pay more for an extra caffeine kick.
Because they're awesome. They taste good, they give you energy, they may be bad for you, but who cares when you're old and miserable? Who cares if you're unhealthy?
The health problems connected with energy drinks has caused them to be banned in multiple countries such as France or Denmark. Even in Canada, there have been petitions to ban them from corner stores near schools. Linda Shaw, a nurse with the health services at NAIT, says that the effects of energy drinks can be deceiving.
They're going to have a down, and then they're going to want something to boost themselves again, which is why you see people drinking many energy drinks during a day, and that is not healthy for you because then you exceed the sugar, which is calories, and caffeine intake that a body should have in one day.
Shaw adds that there are some energy drinks on the market that contain amounts of caffeine that exceed health regulations. The caffeine in energy drinks acts as a natural stimulant that makes you feel energized, but in reality is a stress response from your body that can make you irritable and eventually crash. Due to its high levels of caffeine and sugar, an energy drink shouldn't be your first option when you're looking for that quick energy boost. Physicians recommend a bottle of water or Gatorade as a healthier alternative. Rachel Lees, NAIT NewsWatch.
Taylor, I hear that there's this unreal basketball player now.
That's right, he comes from the NCAA Division I Gonzaga Bulldogs.
NCAA, that is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. All that and more coming up in sports. After finishing the season last year with an ACAC Provincial Championship and a 6th place finish at Nationals, the Ukes men's basketball team is ready to hit the courts again. Heading into the season with one of the most talented squads in the ACAC, head coach Don Phillips says his goal for the season is the same as always.
Well, every year my MO is to win a national championship. Even my first year taking over, that's my MO. I hold myself to the highest standards.
A key addition to this year's team is Bull Kong, a member of the NCAA Division I Gonzaga Bulldogs last season. Bull Kong's decision to leave March Madness for Canadian college play was determined.
I didn't want to that's where you have to sit out here. And plus my family lives out here. So.
The Ukes begin regular season play on October 22nd against Lakeland College. NAIT Athletics has added a former Olympic athlete to take over the reins of the women's volleyball team. Arminia Russo-Thorpe joins the team after the departure of former coach Keith Lundgren to the CIS. Russo-Thorpe, the former CIS Coach of the Year, believes her experience as a player in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics helped her both as a player and a coach.
Not just because as a player, but also too, I've had some really great coaching to get to the Olympics, so I think that's a big deal.
Russo-Thorpe also served as a color commentator for CBC at the last Summer Olympic Games held in Beijing and Athens. Critiquing the best players in the world has given her an advantage
To
as a coach
analyze the best players in the world, I think when I look at the players that I'm working with right now, I look at them and I think, okay, where do they have to go?
The Ukes are currently undergoing preseason play with the first game of the season against the Grant MacEwan Griffins on October 22nd. Though regular season play is only 2/3 over in the ACAC soccer season, Leanne Cadets has already set the all-time scoring record in the conference with a tally of 19 goals. While she acknowledges the achievement's significance, she's more worried about her team's performance on the national stage, where the tournament will be hosted at NAIT for the first time in school history.
A lot of teams think, oh, they got free ride here, they're not going to be that good. So I want to earn our way and actually do really good.
Ukes head coach Sergio Texera believes the sheer scoring power of Cadets has improved the team as
She
a
just
whole.
opens up space because the other teams are just so worried about her that she's just been great.
Currently second place in conference scoring rests on the shoulders of another Uke, Kelly Tatirin. After seeing the success of Michael Phelps in the last Olympic Games, I decided to take on the sport of competitive swimming in this week's End Zone Challenge to see what it was truly like.
Hi, I'm here with Lindsay Martin of the University of Alberta Panda Bear swim team. Today we're going to tackle the sport of swimming. So, how long have you been swimming for?
I've been swimming for about 10 years now.
Okay, let's get to it.
First thing we're going to do is butterfly. It's the one where both of your arms are coming out of the water and you're using a dolphin kick to propel yourself forward. Okay, so for butterfly and breaststroke, you actually do a two-hand touch into the wall. But for freestyle and backstroke, do a flip through and then push off the wall. So I thought I'd show you how to do a flip through.
Yeah, sounds good. So what's next?
I thought we could head over to the blocks and do some starts.
Okay, sounds good.
Ready? So you bend over into a starting position, just like running, and then you're going to push forward like that.
Okay.
Take your mark. Go!
So that race wasn't so close, was it?
It wasn't too bad.
How often do you train to get into this type of shape?
9 times a week.
Yeah? And when's your first meet of the season?
Our first meet is on the 16th of October at the Kinsman Sports Center.
Yeah, so if you're interested in watching competitive swimming, you can go check them out. That's it for End Zone Challenge.
Well, Taylor, you are a fish out of water.
Yeah, your diving skills are top notch.
I definitely won't be making the Olympics anytime soon.
Thanks, Taylor.
Coming up after the break, students lace up their running shoes to support breast cancer.
We went back to high school to shoot our
This week in entertainment, I got the chance to check out the Edmonton International Film Festival.
Hairstyle by Carrie-Elle Salon and Spa. On NAIT NewsWatch, personalities are styled by Club Monaco.
September 26th marks the special day where family and friends can commemorate Alberta police officers who've died in the line of duty. The mood was somber on the legislature grounds as dignitaries and fellow colleagues called out names of 96 fallen officers who've died in Alberta since 1876. This year's ceremony hit home for Shelley West and her husband. Their daughter, Constable Chelsea Robinson, was killed earlier this year in a traffic collision while looking for a suspected impaired driver.
She loved her job and she gave her life for it. That's all that went through my mind, is all these people that go out every day and put their life in danger. Some of them pay the ultimate price.
Law enforcement helicopters flew by to salute those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and a parade of officers in uniform ended the ceremony. This day coincides with the National Police and Peace Officers Memorial Day in Ottawa.
Well, this week, Kathy and I participated in a fundraiser while getting a little bit of exercise.
We got the chance to be part of a Terry Fox walk for a local teacher battling cancer. In white t-shirts that read "Run for Forest Run," we joined hundreds of Archbishop O'Leary students and teachers to support their principal, Mary Lou Forrest, who was diagnosed with breast cancer.
With the mascot on site to pump up the students, we walked 20 kilometers around the track and could feel the excitement in the air.
Miss Forrest, she really tries to get out in the hallways and greet the students as they're coming in and leaving school, and she's always out there like encouraging you to go to your classes and finding out what's going on around the school.
Are you being a good girl? Of course!
It was an awesome sight to see so many people get involved. Mrs. Forrest was very touched.
It means everything to have this support. I knew that I had the students' thoughts and prayers, but to physically, literally be able to see the demonstration of the support, it really means a lot.
It felt so good for us to be part of such a great event, and we hope that they raised a lot of money for cancer research too.
This week, great Canadian films were shown in the city.
Absolutely. Maria has more with that in entertainment.
This past week, for the 24th time, the Edmonton International Film Festival graced our city, attracting some of the best independent films from around the globe. The festival opened with the true Canadian-themed film Score, a hockey musical. The festival is known for its variety and ability to attract filmmakers.
When I think of the filmmakers and what they say about us and how we attract them, it's just show them a really nice time and treat them like they're special, because this festival would not be a festival without the films and the filmmakers.
It took place at the Edmonton.
I absolutely love it. I've been just waiting.
Affordable and authentic, Edmonton's International Film Festival is about the films and the people who make them. Do you enjoy music, art, or beer? Then you're in luck. On October 15th, the Kidney Foundation, in collaboration with their diamond sponsor, Sherbrooke Liquor Store, will be hosting Shabam, a beer, music, and arts festival. The festival will showcase Night of Artists, a unique blend of artists, poets, musicians, dancers, writers, and more. The fantastic addition to the festival is Kevin Hearn of the Bare Naked Ladies.
We really would like to raise about $60,000, and it's not out of the question to raise that amount with this festival.
The Kidney Foundation plans to make the festival an annual event. With the musky smell of leaves and an eerie noise heard in the distance, going to the Jurassic Forest was about more than just seeing dinosaurs. Just 15 minutes from Edmonton and 250 million years from the present lies a 40-acre prehistoric forest.
They make sounds and they move, and it brings a very realistic perspective to something that we only saw in textbooks and picture books years and years ago as children.
Since the forest Opened in July, it has seen many visitors. Seniors enjoy the wheelchair-accessible path. Sherry Wilson, interpretive guide, told me more.
The children love it to see the dinosaurs. They get to see it in their natural habitat, so it's easier to picture what the dinosaurs actually looked like. A lot of these dinosaurs were found in Alberta, in the boreal forest.
In the forest, you can also find interesting bugs, plants, and birds, which are labeled at the rest stops along the trail. With summer winding down, it was a great afternoon spent in the outdoors. The Tell Us World of Science has opened a new interactive exhibit of wheels, wings, and waves, made completely out of Lego. The exhibit showcases history of transportation, showing off such familiar displays as the Titanic and even a piece of Edmonton, our own high-level bridge.
In this display, you can actually also build things at our various build stations we have. You can build a car to race down a race ramp. You can actually learn how to build the transportation of the future, if you like.
I really love the Lego exhibit.
The LEGO exhibit attracts people of all ages. Its recent grand opening was a record breaker for the attendance of the Tell Us World of Science. The internet is constantly evolving, and with new social networking sites, the ability to stay connected is endless. In an adaptation to The Accidental Billionaires by Ben Mesrick, David Fincher of The Social Network proves that you don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies.
People want to go on the internet and check out their friends, so why not build a website that offers that friends, pictures, profile.
Jesse Eisenberg stars as Mark, a student with an innovative idea.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? $1 billion.
The film shows us a revolution in communication and how Mark struggles to become the youngest billionaire in history.
Your best friend is suing you for $600 million.
The movie is already stirring up some potential Oscar buzz. And that's it for entertainment. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, Maria. Summer may be officially over, but that does not mean so are all the great activities in our city.
You can check out this year's Corn Maze. It has a different theme every year with 5 kilometers of twists and turns. Kids can check out the petting zoo and go-karts. The Corn Maze is open until the end of October. For more details, check out edmontoncornmaze.ca.
Well, that movie looks crazy.
You know what's really cool is that, you know, the topics that it was about, you know, we can relate to.
Definitely, how you can make so many Facebook friends around the world. Anyways, that's our show for you. Thank you so much for watching.